Congrats on the show.
Thank you.
It's been brilliant. First question I want to dive into. Has it been nice to let go of the American accent and finally lean into the Britishness?
It's nice to have one less thing to worry about. It definitely is. Definitely is. But you know what? The worst thing is that, of course, I guess because I've just gotten so used to it, occasionally I would slip into the American accent. Like, I'd sort of like round the T's. So I'd be like, oh, I'm not going to do an impression because it's going to sound terrible and embarrass myself. But occasionally I would slip into the American, and then I guess that's just what you're used to when the camera starts rolling, you get a bit nervous.
How did this all start? But both in terms of getting into Sweetpea as a project, but both as the lead, but also exec producing as well.
Yeah, I can't really still believe it, but I sat down with Patrick Walters, who is an exec producer, and we sort of started talking generally about all of the projects he had going on. And I really was just into Sweetpea. I was really into the way that he pitched it as female Dexter meets Fleabag, kind of. And we've obviously, departed from that starting place since then. But I like the idea of doing a dark comedy about a female serial killer, but also one that actually had something to say, something that was going to be confusing for the audience to watch, something that was going to make the audience feel conflicted, in the way that Dexter did so well. And then I went away and I read the script and I read the books, and I just absolutely fell in love with this character, and I really just felt like I felt like I knew her, like I really had so many ideas. And I've been looking for something to produce. I'd produced a few shorts, or directed a short last year, and knew I wanted to continue down that road, and was really just holding out for the right project that I felt like I could contribute properly. And then, yeah, it just felt like one of those things that happened quite organically, actually. They were looking for an actress to be in Sweetpea who was going to be open to producing it, because they knew how important it was to get inside Rhiannon's head. They wanted one person who was just on Rhiannon duty, who was making sure every line, every moment, every move felt completely 100% authentic. Because I think anything less than that, you would have lost the audience. It's so important that they're inside her head, relating to her and understanding every emotion. Otherwise, it loses its impact, You kind of have to really be inside her head.
I did see another interview that you did, and you're saying that it was the challenges of producing and starring in this. Was there any particular challenges? Was it just kind of switching from one role to the other?
Yeah, I'm sort of a bit of a perfectionist, and I'm very dependent. I like to do too much, and I think maybe I had to learn to delegate. And when we started filming, it is always a marathon, especially when you're like the lead in something, because you're in every single day. It's long hours. It's physically demanding. It's obviously a show like this is very emotionally demanding, and I think I underestimated the impact that was going to have on me. And that when filming started, I couldn't be quite as involved. I couldn't be watching all of the dailies every day. I had to sort of pull back, put my acting job first. That's the most important thing for me in that moment. And, after 3 or 4 months, it is taxing. It does get to you. And so sort of learning I didn't have to spin all the plates all the time. I could put one of the plates down, which is not in my nature. But, that's, again, the thing about collaborating with so many people that you adore and you trust and are so talented is you lean on each other. You really support each other emotionally as well as creatively. And everyone that I made this show with is family to me. I know everyone says that about every job, every press junket, but, we really did get so close on this job. And so it was very easy to put the plates down.
One thing that I did pick up on, that I thought about anyway when watching the show, is actually it complements really nicely with what you did with Fallout. The two shows really honing in on violence and kind of, but in terms of, characters trying to justify it, and it feels like this is kind of like the dark cousin to Fallout.
Yeah, I know what you mean. There's some common denominator about identity going on there, and like good versus evil, that sort of theme. Yeah, I don't know what that says about me as a person. Maybe I'm really trying to work out some deep shit there. Sorry, didn't mean to swear.
Or just working out questionable acts and just being able to do it safely on camera.
Yeah.
Just the high system.
Or maybe, maybe it's just the challenge. I don't know. Maybe that is also just a trend that we're seeing in TV. Maybe that's just what people like to see. Maybe it says more about our society as a whole. I don't know. I could talk about this for hours.
And thinking about that, I definitely think this is going to cause a lot of conversation online. What do you think is going to be the general audience kind of perception of this show?
I genuinely don't know. I don't know, and that excites me. I think that's hopefully what good TV is about, right? It's about conversation. I also think there's just so much in this show. I mean, I had such a good time making this show. I really, really did. It was challenging, it was scary, it was exciting, it was difficult. I put everything into this. I really, really love this character and I care so much about it. And I think there's something in there for everyone. It's a story of grief and trauma and loss, and it's a story about childhood trauma and facing your childhood bully. It's a story about finding your voice and being overlooked and underestimated. It's a story about female rage. It's so many things, as well as being about murder and killing. If you take away the murder, it's actually quite a sweet coming-of-age story. And there is murder, yeah.